Welcome to BNEWS Weekly. I'm Phil Galler, along with the full house we have for you tonight, including Greg Walsh, Tad Stefnak, Robert Paris, Elizabeth Fuller, Chris Flaherty, Peter Brown with the weather, Gretchen Carey with the community calendar, and Anthony Matos with sports. Thank you for joining us. A local icon left us this week, a beloved member of the Burlington community, Dottie Bartlett Yaden, a lifelong resident, 1966 graduate of Burlington High, passed away on December 5th with her 4 loving children by her side. Dottie, once called Burlington's extra grandmother, was a fixture in the town where she raised a family and where her compassionate and caring ways touched the lives of so many children, families, and sports teams. Next to being a mother, grandmother, and great-grandmother and sister, Dottie's greatest joy came from being a bus driver for students and sports teams in Burlington. She was remembered at this week's school committee meeting for her kind and charismatic spirit.
My fond memories are from all of the Pop Warner cheer competitions. The bus rides absolutely would not have been the same without Dottie driving us there. She was such a positive influence on everybody around her, just always a big smile on her face. You couldn't help but have a good time when you were around her.
She was sort of my introduction to the town, and it was a great way to get to know the town. And I'm forever in her debt for showing me sort of the best side of Burlington, and I think that's really what she was sort of the best part of Burlington. It was really funny. I've got had the honor of riding on Dottie's bus for several opening days, and it had the feeling to me like it was a family carpool. Like she was driving her bus like it was her station wagon, and all the kids in the bus were her family. Every stop, she knew every child's name. Even if the students weren't school age yet, they looked forward to being on Dottie's bus.
Everybody knew Dottie, and she was just a great person. She drove all the sports teams, and I'm sure a lot of the music teams, and all of my children and grandchildren knew her and loved her. And she will be really, really missed. So to her children and family, I just want to say that from all of us, from all the kids that rode her bus, all the teams, we are really sorry for your loss.
The Burlington Athletic Boosters also expressed their sorrow for the loss of Dottie via Facebook. It is with heavy hearts we say goodbye to our much beloved bus 7, Dottie Yaden. Dottie has touched so many children and families with her kind, compassionate, and caring ways. In 2010, Dottie was inducted into the BHS Sports Hall of Fame because of her complete and total dedication to our student athletes. Thank you, Dottie, for giving so much of yourself and making a difference to so many. You will be forever in our hearts. She wasn't just the Red Devils bus driver, she was their biggest fan. In 2010, she was inducted into the Hall of Fame. In 2018, Dottie was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. She did not let the disease define her, choosing to fight. Dottie was heartbroken that she could no longer drive her bus and missed her kids terribly. The Burlington community rallied in support of Dottie. Fundraisers were held, t-shirts and bracelets reading "Dottie Strong" were made. The Burlington Fire Department honored her in their yearly October Breast Cancer Awareness Campaign. The captains of the BHS football and hockey teams had their teammates autograph helmets. They presented the helmets to Dottie with love and support for all she had done for them. She was named Citizen of the Year and was honored in the July 4th parade. Dottie was also honored by the Rotary Club of Burlington and by State Rep Ken Gordon. I went to high school with Dottie, and I can honestly say her personality and her charisma and her kind ways never changed one day for the rest of her life.
All I can tell you is make the best of everything you can, because it really goes by fast, and enjoy every day.
The annual tree lighting and fireworks through the Burlington Parks and Recreation Department went without a hitch last weekend. BNews had the event covered. Let's have a look.
December 4th, Burlington Parks and Recreation kicked off the holiday season with the tree lighting on the Common.
50th annual, yes. So obviously our department's been around for more than 50 years, but you know, there's been some breaks in there, especially with COVID, so.
The Common looks beautiful.
It does, it really does. Maintenance division does an awesome job, starting as early as October every year, getting the Common ready, and just do a great job getting all these trees lit.
Residents had plenty to enjoy from the snowman bouncy house to Blizzard Ball. Festive characters were all around, and brilliant fireworks lit up the sky.
There's always something for families to do here. We have sponsors that bring in cider and popcorn and other booths here just to share their information with people. I love family events. I love families getting together, just coming out and enjoying their town, but also the company of their family members, but also their friends too.
And of course, the evening wouldn't be complete without a visit from Santa. Stay tuned to BCAT to see this year's full coverage of the tree lighting ceremony. For B News, I'm volunteer reporter Elizabeth Fuller.
The town of Burlington is one of 26 communities in Massachusetts to receive funding for sustainable land use planning efforts. The state's grant program, administered through the Office of Energy and Environmental Affairs, provides municipalities with funding to undertake public processes and hire technical expertise to prepare for climate change impacts, improve land use practices, sustainably develop land, and diversify housing choices. In Burlington, the funding will support an upcoming rezoning initiative along Mall Road and Middlesex Turnpike to create new form-based land use codes designed to shape future development. Community members and stakeholders interested in the upcoming rezoning initiative should email ed@burlington.org for more information. According to the Select Board, the two poles at the corner of Cambridge and Bedford Street that hold up the banners, is not the state-of-the-art image Burlington wants to portray in this vital part of town. In terms of a message board, it isn't exactly becoming of the town of Burlington, and so we began just to noodle on the idea of what it would take to redo that and bring us into the 21st century standard of having an electronic message board, said Chairman Nick Priest. While some were wary of the aesthetics of such a sign and a distraction it can potentially be to drivers, the planning board gave a preliminary thumbs up to keeping the conversation rolling. Burlington Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Eric Conti, is ready to begin advertising for the Assistant Superintendent of Schools. With a notice now, he said interviews can be conducted in January and February with an eye towards March to make a decision. The new hire, who will replace Patrick Larkin, who is on sabbatical, would ideally begin his or her new job on July 1st. The school committee took the draft proposal but was not read aloud during the meeting. Burlington's own Henry Morin is an Eagle Scout, and the town has been celebrating. Besides a proclamation to Henry from the Select Board, he was recently invited to the latest school committee meeting so they could honor him as well.
17-year-old Burlington resident Henry Morin was recently invited to the school committee meeting to be recognized for his achievement in becoming an Eagle Scout, the Scout's highest honor.
On behalf of the school committee, I'd like to congratulate Henry Morin for achieving rank of Eagle Scout. Becoming an Eagle Scout is an accomplishment that will aid you in all future endeavors, and it is something you can always look back on with pride. Henry finished his Eagle Scout project in collaboration with the Science Center. His project was blazing 2 nature trails across from Francis Wyman Elementary School. We've invited Ms. Pavlicek to elaborate more on the project.
Many students come to the Science Center looking for many different things, and a lot of scouts come to us looking for projects. And Henry came to us, and as part of the science curriculum and just science in general, getting students outdoor in nature is very important.
Henry's project included cleaning debris and trash removal, also recruiting parent and student volunteers, raising funds to get the job done, and establishing 2 trails, a yellow and blue one, representing the colors of the Francis Wyman School.
And then Henry got to go to Francis Wyman to give those certificates to the students for the trail naming, and he got to visit some of his teachers. So here's just some pictures that we caught of him visiting his elementary school, and we got him to see his teachers, and he went around. I was so proud of him. He went around and made contact with everyone. It was really great and really heartful to see. We just wanted to say thank you so much on behalf of the Burlington Science Center, Francis Wyman, and Burlington Public Schools, and thank you for all your hard work and dedication. And this is something that will just continue and continue now on forever.
Yes, this is something that will go on forever. Congratulations, Henry Morin. This is Greg Walsh from BNEWS.
Burlington High School educator Shannon Janovitz is a member of We Are America, a project that travels across the country to talk to the next generation of students to better lead discussions on American identity. BNews reporter John Vias has this report.
Teachers and young students all across the United States are working to define what it means to be an American and to spark a new national conversation about American identity today, led by the next generation. The We Are America project represents it all. A project that was started by the students of Lowell High School and is spreading all across the country, with the voices of more than 1,500 students being heard. This book in particular is a collection of the words spoken by a diverse group of Burlington High School students, sharing personal stories about their experiences with everyday America. BHS educator Shannon Janovitz leads Burlington's part of the project.
So this particular project, which was started by a teacher at Lowell High School a few years back, centers that same concept. It is looking at what it means to be an American and how each of us has a story to contribute and to share. The idea is that it will help students understand their peers. It will help students understand others' experiences, build some empathy, but also really to see the value in affirming and celebrating one another.
When editing, Ms. Janovitz works with her students carefully and will have many a conversation to best understand their stories and ensure that their voices are heard the way they intend. She even says that she'll learn a thing or two from her students as well.
There were a lot of conversations about just cutting. A lot of it has to fit within the format for the publication. So what sections can we cut without losing your main ideas or the language that you sort of fall in love with as you were writing. But it did allow me to have a lot of conversations with each one of these students to talk about their stories and learn more about them.
Ms. Janovitz and her students also presented the We Are America project before the school committee during their October 25th meeting at Citizens Time.
The public participation in the opening with all of our students who are actively seeking some changes within our district and want more of a focus on some of the concerns that they've been raising for years and years and years reinforces the need for projects like this. Students need to feel that they're being heard and seen, and so through stories we can make that happen. But also it is something that allows people to understand what students are experiencing. Part of the message and the intent of the program in general is to prompt conversation. The hope is that when people are reading these essays, not only will they learn more about individuals, maybe that they spend 12 years with in school or, all year with in one class, but also just to get an idea of the emotional experiences, the experiences of moving, the experiences of understanding themselves and their identities, and how that connects to other people, how we are all connected, how we sort of have a responsibility to learn about each other and to support each other and really work to understand everybody's perspectives.
This is John Vias for BNews Weekly.
Project 351 is an independent nonprofit organization for youth-led service in each of Massachusetts' 351 communities. Project 351 ambassadors are selected from middle schools all over the Commonwealth. Maddie Spreadbury, a Burlington High School sophomore, was named the 2020-21 ambassador at Marshall Simons Middle School. She is spearheading this year's toy drive as a Project 351 alumni endeavor. Spreadbury explained that this year they are partnering with the New England Patriots and WBZ-TV to help provide toys for Debbie's Treasure Chest, an organization out of Lawrence that aids and supports disadvantaged and at-risk families in the Merrimack Valley. Donations being sought: educational toys for infants and toddlers, sports equipment, footballs, soccer balls, etc., board games, headphones, dolls, action figures, and stuffed animals, anything for teenagers, hooded sweatshirts, sports shirts, etc. Temple Shalom Emeth is offering free Hanukkah bags for children at the Temple Hanukkah Party on Sunday, December 18th from 10:30 a.m. to noon, or at the Hanukkah lighting on first night at 6:30 p.m. This is the first time we are doing this, said Rabbi Abramson. Bags will contain a dreidel, Hanukkah crafts and activities, instructions on how to play the dreidel game, how to recite the Hanukkah candle blessings, and home readings. Rabbi Abramson said we are excited to offer this free gift bag to children in Burlington. We want anyone who celebrates Hanukkah to be able to share the celebration with their children. The Burlington Police Department has been awarded a grant to increase the number of impaired driving patrols during the holiday season as part of the National Drive Sober or Get Pulled Over enforcement campaign. As part of the Municipal Road Safety Program, the Baker-Polito administration recently awarded over $5 million in road safety grant funding from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration to local police departments for fiscal year 2023. Of this funding, the Burlington Police Department was awarded $35,000. The Burlington Police Department will join other departments across the state and Massachusetts State Police in this campaign. Police urge motorists who have been drinking or using marijuana or other drugs during the holiday season celebration to plan ahead and designate a driver, use a ride-sharing service, or take public transportation. The campaign runs from December 1st to December 31st. During that time, the Burlington Police Department will have several officers on the lookout for impaired and reckless drivers on the road. As always, please be careful. Although we could be in for a mix of snow and rain in the near future, our upcoming stretch of weather looks good, mostly cool and sunny. I, like you, I'm sure, have already tuned up my snowblower. Let's check in with BNEWS meteorologist Peter Brown, followed as always by the community calendar with Gretchen Carey.
Well, hello everyone, this is Peter Brown with Oakridge Weather for the next 7 days. Here we are heading in towards the middle of December. We're almost at the official start of winter. I know it's hard to believe that the year is almost over. As we start our period on Friday, we're going to be seeing what's going to be the start of a kind of chilly and cloudy pattern coming up. So no real nice, pleasant weather up there. No nice warm temperatures like we saw many days in November. It's going to have a real winter-like feel out there over the next 7 to 10 days. And starting out our period on Friday, we're going to be seeing highs in the low 40s, so below average for this time of the year, when we should be in the mid to upper 40s. We're going to see, again, some cloudy conditions come in for the weekend. Very breezy out there over the next 7 to 10 days. And again, very gray. And as we get towards the end of the period, we're going to be looking at temperatures at this time of the year now should be in the low 40s. And that's probably where we're going to end up the period, with maybe the chance of some rain coming back in here by Thursday. Now, the only good news is we have actually reached the shortest amount of daylight right now. The days are not going to be getting too much shorter now. We only have a couple more weeks left for that to happen. In fact, 4:12 p.m. our sunset on Friday. That is the earliest that the sun is going to be setting. So we only have to look up from here. The sun is going to be coming up a little bit later each morning, but now it looks like we've reached the peak in terms of the afternoons. So as we go ahead, let's take a look at what the Climate Prediction Center is calling for us in the terms of temperatures and precipitation for the next 7 to 10 days. Now, looking at this first map, I'm not really seeing where they're getting these above average temperatures from. I'm seeing pretty much the opposite of that as we go in through the next 7 to 10 days here in the Burlington area. Temperatures, I think, are going to be, again, maybe around average to probably slightly below average, only in the 30s for most of next week. So we'll have to see how that pans out. And looking at our precipitation chances, they're calling for us to have above average chances of precipitation. We're going to have to see if a weak storm system over this weekend gets close enough to us to back in to give us some precip. And unfortunately, because of how cold it's going to be out there, at least here in the Burlington area, that's going to be in the form of some very cold rain showers and snow showers. So as we go ahead, let's take a look at those 7 days of weather coming up. And again, this is kind of a sloppy, messy forecast coming up starting out on Friday. We'll be seeing those fair skies out there. Again, temperatures only in the low 40s. Now, as we get in towards the weekend, we're only calling right now for having cloudy skies, as we think there's going to be a very strong high-pressure center coming down into New England from southern Canada, and that's going to push, we think, a storm a little bit too far offshore. We're going to have to keep an eye on that. We could get some sprinkles here and there, some snow flurries, but in any fashion. It is going to be very windy this weekend and very chilly. Temperatures only in the 30s here in the Burlington area. Now that's going to continue into Monday as we see another disturbance slide by to our south, and that's going to give us a chance of some rain and mixed snow with it. Temperatures again very chilly, only in the mid-30s. We clear out a bit when we get towards Tuesday and Wednesday. Temperatures still pretty cold, again only in the upper 30s, maybe touching 40, and then as we get in towards Thursday, that's when we see another messy storm system making its way to it. Looks like this one's going to be a little bit warmer, with temperatures maybe in the low 40s and some rain coming in. So everyone, get out there, enjoy the weather, and have a great week.
Hey everyone, I'm Gretchen Carey, and this is your Community Calendar. On December 14th, from 4 to 5 p.m., the Burlington Public Library will be having a teen event called Hot Cocoa Ornaments for students in grades 6 through 12. Pre-registration is required. To register, go to burlingtonpubliclibrary.org. On December 15th, from 4 to 4:45 p.m., the Burlington Parks and Recreation Department will be having a gingerbread house making event at the Grandview Farm. $15 per family, and to register, go to burlingtonrecreation.org. On December 16th at 7 p.m., the Made in Burlington store will be having a seasonal string art class. For more information and to register, go to the following website. I'm Gretchen Carey, and that was your Community Calendar.
Yes, the weather is reminding us it's getting a little cold out there, and I can attest to that playing golf on Thursday. 39 degrees, 25-mile-an-hour winds. But there is a second telltale sign. The Burlington Red Devils winter sports teams are back on the roads, gyms, and rinks. Let's take a look in sports.
Hey everyone, I'm Anthony Matos, and this weekly sports report. It's officially the next season at BHS and ready for a long winter ahead. Shawshene Valley Tech competed at Gillette Stadium for the Division V Super Bowl championship game on December 2nd against North Reading. The Rams went undefeated in the regular season at 8-0, while their opponent was 7-1. North Reading came away with the upset and handed the Rams their first loss of the season, 44-28, in the biggest game of the year. You can check out the full article at bcattv.org/sports. As mentioned earlier, winter sports are back. BNEWS sports reporter Robert Paris talked with the Red Devil coaches. Let's take a look.
The Red Devil winter sports have arrived at Burlington High School, and all the teams are thrilled to be back for another season as they prep for the first slate of games.
We got a good group of guys in here, some very new guys and some veterans, and we're just trying to blend it in, teach everyone the sport, and have a little fun with it.
Well, I'm really excited. We've got a small team, but we're developing some depth. Like to just keep going along. You know, it's kind of like that across the board. The teams are smaller in numbers, so right now we're just kind of getting a feel for what we have, for talent, where we need to make our improvements and where we're going to adjust. So I'm actually trying to I've made a longer season. We're actually swimming more teams, so to make it a little more longer, a little more competitive, so that they can get their numbers up, and let's see how they run.
We're excited to get back in the gym. Obviously, that last game still hurts us all. And I think none of us were going to move past that game till we could get back in the gym, and we're finally back in. So we had a great off-season. Kids worked really hard. A lot of kids back from the team last year in the state semifinal, and we used it as something to push us. We want to try to get back and right a few wrongs, and it's going to be how hard we work in here. And but so far, first day or two, it's been great to be back in the gym. It's the best healing, I would say, from last year.
Obviously, very excited to be back in the gym. It's been a great week so far. We had 41 athletes come try out, so we have 3 teams this winter. Definitely looking forward to having a really competitive year in the league. We know that our division in the league is strong again this year, but we think we can definitely be at the top of that and expect to be. I know that my 4 seniors have that goal for themselves. For Liv, this is her 4th year here. She already has 1 championship. Love to have another. And then for my other 3, for them to come back as juniors after taking a year off and having such an impact last year, it'd be a great way to send them out.
It was a well-deserved title. Everyone worked really, really hard. Everyone was really committed. And so, we have a handful of those guys who returned. We have some new kids who want a piece of that. They're in here, they're focused, they're excited to work hard. We got 2 new managers who are super motivated and already with the go-getting attitude. So everyone's ready to hit the ground running.
We're very excited. Here at Burlington, we have a great turnout for kids trying out. We have a lot of freshmen and sophomores, and we have a couple students that were injured and who are now back in the lineup, so we're very excited. We're hoping to beat our score from last year and to perform equally as well, because we went to sectionals and to states. So we're hoping to do that again.
We got about 20 new kids out, so I'm still learning names. We're getting ready to move into a new track facility in Boston at New Balance. Just a lot of stuff up in the air right now that we're just trying to work through. We'd like to have a healthy season where we can really maximize our abilities.
I am so excited to be starting the winter season right now. We have one of the biggest teams we've had in the past. Most of our team is freshmen, which is awesome. That means that the middle school gym teacher and cross-country teacher, they're doing something right because they're telling them to sign up for track, which is great. 2 seniors, which is a little different. That's kind of interesting. We've never just had 2 seniors. They're the 2 best seniors ever, so that's really exciting. We have a big junior class too, and they are really talented. Our sophomores, who were freshmen last year, are returning, and they know the deal, they know what's up. And we are coming, like last year was our best season ever, so I'm excited to get back into that and see where we are. I think we're gonna match up pretty well.
Well, we're pretty excited. We got most of our team back from last year. We had a good season last year. We're expecting another good season this year. We got some goaltending, some defense. We got some good 8th graders that are gonna be part of the mix this year, so we're looking forward to that. We got our top 6 forwards back from last year, so we're hoping to, increase our scoring a little bit. We got all our defense back, 4 defensemen back from last year that all played last year. And then we got our goaltending back from last year. So we're just looking to maybe, get a little more competitive against Liberty schools. We've been competitive in the Freedom Division so far, and we're looking to maybe get a little more competitive against some of those Liberty schools.
It's a great team to work with. These guys have been great so far, and they've been working really hard, and we're just excited to be here and get going next week.
I'm Robert Paris for BNEWS Sports.
Red Devil basketball had 3 scrimmages so far against Lawrence, Beverly, and Lowell. The one against the Lancers, 65-63, Beverly 71-61, and Lowell 61-48. The team has one more scrimmage against Tewksbury, and then the season begins on December 13th. Girls basketball also had 2 scrimmages against Hamilton, Wenham, and Linfield. The results have not been posted. Red Devil hockey and Lady Devils hockey had scrimmages as well. The boys had a tie against Shrewsbury 3-3 and one against Westford Academy 5-2. They have 2 more scrimmages over the weekend against Billerica and Waltham. The girls had 1 scrimmage against Westford Academy. As of this taping, the results have not been posted. Starting on December 13th, we will be live streaming my Game of the Week on BCAT TV Facebook page. First up will be boys varsity basketball versus Winchester High at 6 p.m. You can check out the Game of the Week list on our website at bcattv.org/sports. That's it for now. We'll be back next week to talk about how the Red Devils did in their first slate of games. I'm Anthony Matos, back to you guys in the studio.
And speaking of sports, the BHS Red Devils esports team has earned a spot at the Fall 2022 MSAA Esports State Finals. Tad Stefanak caught up with the team on their season.
You just look like an esports kid, Sam.
Esports are formally recognized internationally, collegiately, and at the high school level. Your Burlington Red Devils are going to the state championship. Team captain AJ Welsh.
We all are a part of the esports team, and so we all play Rocket League. Right now, we are fortunate enough to be in the top 4 for the state championship of Massachusetts. This season kind of stands out to the other ones because we're just playing a lot better and we're more together.
Basically, when we compete, we do go against other high schools. Esports in general isn't just Rocket League. There's other games, such as Brawlhalla, Call of Duty, all that other stuff. When we do play, it's 3v3s against other high schools. We are doing really good this year. We're the 2nd seed, and hopefully we win states.
This year, it's everything kind of came together. We played good as a team, and we were just able to win most of our games, and then we won the first round of our playoffs, so that's how we made it here.
We also learned about some of the finer points of competition.
We win by scoring more than the other team. Usually at the end of the game, when you have more points than the other team, you win. So that's how we win. And then they did that a bunch of times, and now we're at the top pretty much.
What he said, when we score goals, we also don't let them score. So that's how we win. That's our game plan.
And esports isn't just for nerds, it's for the cool kids too.
They asked me to join. At first, I was very hesitant. I was oh, the esports club. But I'm actually very happy I joined now because look where we are now. Yeah, we're doing really good this year.
Esports is a real sport. That's my senior project right there.
All of us here at BCAT wish the best of luck to this Red Devils team in the state championship.
We are indeed going to win states.
From Area 123 in the Burlington High School, I'm BNews reporter Tad Stefanak.
See that fake?
No, that was fake.
That was some very insightful analysis. We score more and try to make them score less. The competition is taking place at Helix Esports at Patriot Place in Foxborough. You can watch live Saturday, December 10th on Twitch TV. This week's photo of the week comes from our old friend Steve Morin. He was down by the Charles River. as the Standells once sang during the song Dirty Water. If you're over 60, you'll remember that. In that forever make the Charles River iconic, if not infamous. Here he captures some rowers on a fine morning. Thank you, Steve, as always, for your contribution. We'd like to see your photos. They could be of your summer activities, family, friends, and pets, the weather outside your front door, anything else you'd like to share with us in the community. Email your photos to bcat@bcattv.org with the subject line Photo of the Week. And that's it from the news desk here at BNEWS Weekly. I'm Phil Gallagher, along with Greg Walsh, Elizabeth Fuller, Tad Stefanak, Chris Flaherty, Robert Paris, Anthony Matos, Gretchen Carey, and Peter Brown. Thank you for joining us.